Hey everyone, it's Jonathan and welcome back to Wonderland Wednesday. This episode was slightly spur of the moment. I was planning to do an episode on the Disney short Donald in Mathmagicland, which has some mild Alice connections. Definitely not a direct adaptation, but I wanted to do it anyway. But I asked Jenna and Mark to join me for that one as they're both Disney history buffs, and I could have sworn Mark had suggested we do Mathmagicland years ago. He didn't remember. Either way, we planned to do that one, and suddenly Jenna sent me a couple of shorts and was like, hey, here's some more obscure Disney Alice educational material. And I was like, perfect. So before we get to Donald in Mathmagicland, here's the first of two other very random edutainment shorts from Disney starring Alice in Wonderland. This time we're looking at a short from the 70s called Alice in Wonderland, A Lesson in Appreciating Differences. And next time we'll be looking at Writing Magic with Figment and Alice in Wonderland. So we'll start with Alice in Wonderland, A Lesson in Appreciating Differences. Do you have backstory on this, like where it came from?
I mean, I know it was, I know it's 1978. I know that it was made by Disney Educational Programs. I know that wasn't necessarily a new thing because I think maybe I should have done some more research into the educational programs. But I remember there was some stuff with Jiminy Cricket, no full programs before this. So it feels really clumsy to me though. So you would think that they were starting out or something, but no, they weren't. But at least the previous stuff was animated stuff. I don't know, maybe they hadn't done live action before. No idea. The only thing I know about this one for sure is that there was this very strange rumor that circulated around that you know how in the Disney movies they don't do Jabberwocky.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, I don't know how, because you can imagine this film, yeah, I use film loosely, short, I would say short, would be recorded in books, just the title and the year, and there usually wouldn't be any more information about it. So I think somebody saw this, and for some reason, they went, oh, the Jabberwocky's in it. And for some reason, everybody else took that and they just ran with it. And at some point, there was some cell, some commercial cell Disney made at some point, I suppose, showing a Jabberwocky over a background. And I don't really know the history of that cell, but someone connected it oh, it's a frame from Alice in Wonderland, A Lesson in Appreciating Differences.
Hmm.
And it's in particular, it went really wild to Tumblr at some point, and I've never been able to make that connection of where this rumor came from, why someone thought this, and why everyone else decided to run with it. Because it's if that was the case, wouldn't it have been tracked down immediately, and someone would have been "Hey, it's actually kind of boring, guys." it, it doesn't. That would actually be an interesting shirt if it was about the Jabberwocky and he's feeling left out or something because he's so different.
Very
But
much.
no, that's not what happens. So that is actually ironically the most interesting thing about this short, in my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't even know that, and I agree with you.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all the quote unquote background I have. And part of that isn't even really about the background.
Was it released? This isn't long
Oh,
enough to
it
be a
would be released
show.
on I'm bad with formats, but it'd be released on reels and they would show them in
Hmm.
schools.
To
Um,
project reels.
yeah,
Oh,
Disney
okay.
educational
That
programs.
makes sense.
Yeah, they would send materials to schools that, or you could have them for purchase. Not too long ago, they still had a separate website where they would sell all this stuff on DVD. I remember my old collaborator on Curious Archive found that website and a bunch of stuff for sale, and he bought it. And most people aren't really aware of it because it's usually for schools.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it can get kind of expensive because technically it comes with a license to show it or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it's literally just shorts, reels. They're meant to show children. It's a movie day. I guess we'll just jump into it. Um,
There's so little to jump into.
I
It's
mean, yeah.
this little
yeah,
girl, well, not a little girl, she's like almost a teenager.
I wrote that girl is too old for this lesson.
Yeah. The whole thing felt like almost forced. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
it feels like something that should be obvious, but that probably has to do with the fact that she was so much older than she should have been. It would have felt more natural if this was a little girl, but whatever. She's basically talking about her friends are planning on ostracizing a new kid because he's weird and
Poor guy.
awful. But she doesn't explain why, like what
Yeah.
he did that was awful and different and weird, and she just keeps calling him that.
I think the only thing she said was he wants to walk me home or something. And it's like,
But it didn't seem
isn't
like
it
that
Ford?
was, yeah.
Is that weird though?
I mean, I suppose if you truly do not know someone, it's sort of strange, but like
I would
if you're
feel a little weirded out, to
kids,
be honest.
Hmm.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I would too, but I don't know, it feels like it shouldn't be that weird for this setting, but also she's way too
Don't
old
you
for
know,
this.
like that's practically getting married at that age. If a boy walked you home, then you're practically married. That's
I feel like if the kid was the age that this lesson feels targeted towards, it would feel less weird.
yeah,
Because like if it's a 6-year-old and another 6-year-old says, "Want to walk home together?" That doesn't feel weird.
yeah, I agree.
Even in the short, it didn't seem like that she thought the guy was weird because he offered to
Yeah,
walk her
yeah.
home. It seemed
Oh
like
yeah.
he was already preconceived as weird before this, and then oh, by the way, he also offered to walk me home.
No, I agree with you. Like it seemed like she already had the opinion he was weird. And then that
Hmm.
like was the cherry on top, because why would she let a weird boy walk her home? But yeah, they never really addressed why he was weird. Oh, yeah, also, did you guys catch that her name's Alicia? Alicia?
Yeah, Alicia. I was
Yeah, I
like, is
forgot about
this?
that.
I
Oh,
because the at first when he called her Alicia, I was like, is that why they're calling this
Alicia.
Alice in Wonderland? How does this tie into Alice in Wonderland?
It's just like, I'm just gonna tell you a story based on your name.
And it's not even the whole story. It's a random piece of the part of the movie with the flowers in it. That's all the story is.
Yeah, so for anyone watching this who hasn't watched it, it's literally the live action is original. That's something you can say about it. Um, I will say the sound is atrocious. I don't know what they thought they were doing. It was so windy, it sounded awful. But anyway, it's a young girl. She's judging a new classmate to like an adult who's like an uncle, neighbor kind of person, whatever. Who
Uncle
then
Phil.
explains Uncle Phil, yeah, and he's like, it's not so nice to judge. Like Alice was judged when she went to Wonderland, and then it uses clips where Alice is Wonderland. It's basically just the All in the Golden Afternoon
Yeah, I
sequence,
was
and
gonna
then
say it's not really even clips, it's just like the entire scene of the Golden
Yeah,
Afternoon song followed by her being bullied, which is all one part of the movie.
yeah,
which I think is the most exposure that scene's ever gotten.
yeah, it's not even like the most interesting scene in Wonderland.
Hmm.
It's really the only thing you can really like get out of the movie to be anti-bullying.
Hmm.
To be honest, I don't think this lesson is a bad lesson to use Alice in Wonderland for. I just don't think there's anything in the Disney Alice that you can adapt to do this. Because Alice doesn't really like appreciate the differences she comes across in the Disney Alice movie.
That's true.
He's just so tired of it all.
Not really like, oh, this is so neat. Wow. I'm so glad I came here. It's more, I want to go home. People are weird. Like, so I,
Alice was the bully all along.
That's a deep
yeah,
message right there.
pretty much. So it's kind of, I don't know. It's like, I don't think this is the adaptation for this lesson, but they got the one scene from the movie, I guess. Good for them. And that's it. She learns that she was wrong, I guess.
Yeah,
Yay.
really. The clip ends and she suddenly sees the error of her ways and she's got to make a phone call.
Yeah,
Like instant lesson learned.
yeah, it's odd. And then also I noticed, okay, so he compared a tree to a weed.
Hmm.
And I was like, is this like the best analogy for the situation? Because a tree,
I think they just wanted to segue into the Golden Afternoon segment.
yeah, but a weed, like, weeds aren't good, are they?
I mean, it depends on your point of view. Sometimes one person's weed is another person's foraged meal.
I guess.
Like dandelions. People hate dandelions, but some people think they're pretty. Other people will actually eat them or make them into salad or wine or I think that was the point of it, but like everything else in this, it felt very forced the way they did it.
Yeah.
They didn't
That
make
wasn't
it make too much sense.
I feel like if we're gonna use this kind of analogy, then you should talk about how the weed can be useful, but I don't remember them doing that.
No, they didn't. They
Yeah.
the thing was only 9 minutes, and at least half of that was taken up by the clip of the movie.
Yeah.
So they really didn't have much time to work with to make this into something more cohesive.
The only other note I have is he says Alice went through a tree trunk hole, and I thought that was strange.
Hmm.
Um, and that's all I have notes on. The dude doesn't even remember Alice in Wonderland.
Is he thinking of the scene where the Cheshire Cat opens the door to the castle?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but that happens after the flower scene, the garden scene, so I don't know what he's thinking.
Yeah, I don't know.
The only other thing I got is the guy who plays Uncle Phil is the guy who directed this.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
realize that.
I
Well,
think he also wrote it, if I'm not mistaken, from what I saw in the credits. But yes, he it's his thing, and he put himself as Uncle Phil.
like I'm so cool.
Either that or I can't find anyone else to get in this thing.
Oh yeah, it could be that too.
Maybe I should have, because I believe this was a series, not with Alice, but with other Disney films being used to like
Hmm.
teach lessons in 9 minutes. I wonder if he was also involved in those. Maybe Uncle Phil is a recurrent character. I don't know.
Then he became the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air after that.
And that's all I have for this one. It's unoffensive. That's that's the most I can give it.
Yeah, it's an interesting historical artifact, I guess. Like most people are never going to know about something like this. I literally wouldn't have never found this one except you knew about it because you're an expert in Alice in Wonderland.
You're welcome.
So based on just a quick IMDb search, the actor's name is Philip Abbott, and yes, he did write it. And you're right, Jenna, he did direct a number of series
Mm.
that were based on Disney films. There's Bambi, A Lesson in Perseverance, Lady and the Tramp, A Lesson in Sharing Attention, uh, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Pinocchio, Dumbo, 101 Dalmatians, Cinderella, and Fox and the Hound, and Jungle Book. So I guess this was his passion project. I don't know.
He was hired, I assume.
Yeah.
But yeah, bit odd. I'm not sure. This is the kind of thing where the most interesting about it would be the backstory.
Yes.
Um, and but at the same time, there's not really much to dig into here.
Hmm.
Is he still alive? Maybe we could send him a letter. Like, okay, how did this happen?
He died in 1998, so
No, shucks.
yeah, too late. Oh well, we tried.
I can't believe the old man in 1978 isn't still alive.
Would have thunk.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe the actress is still alive, but I doubt she knows anything.
I looked up her on IMDb as well, and that seemed to be the only thing she's appeared in. So
Oh no,
if she's alive, she's probably well into obscurity at the moment.
probably.
Or maybe she has a
Yeah.
Facebook page open where she talks about her her one acting experience.
You ever think about how these people like they act in these one-off things and then they just live their lives, never doing any acting again? I always thought that was interesting.
I
Hmm.
keep finding that because like I'm right in the middle of doing a series on Peter Pan, and I
Mm,
keep finding that with people who played the Lost Boys. Like so many of the people who played the Lost Boys, that was the only thing they ever did. Even the ones that are like
Hmm.
really good actors. It's kind of weird. It's like they came in, did one movie, and then went back to normal life.
Probably couldn't find work or something where they realized they wanted to do something else or something.
Well, it could be, but they're also like little kids, and in the one case,
Hmm.
the kid got the part by accident because he was the younger brother of the actress Anna Popplewell,
Oh, okay.
who was auditioning for Wendy, and she read the
Is
part
that a
with him.
Papawell the from Narnia?
Yes.
Okay.
She read for Wendy with her little brother doing the part of Michael, and they liked him over her. He
Oh
wasn't even
no.
auditioning.
It reminds me of the how they got the kid to voice Russell in Pixar's Up. He just came to tag along with his brother who was auditioning, and they liked him better.
Reminds me of Cats Don't Dance, the little boy penguin, how they found the voice actor for that. It was just a little boy living his life that they randomly saw, and they were like, that's him. That's
Well,
our character. And
Just a little boy randomly living his life. That's him. That sounds kind of ominous.
until one event changed everything.
until his whole life was changed by voicing a penguin.
You want to be in the pictures, kid?
Anyway, I always just find it interesting, especially like kid parts, because they
Mm.
probably never think about them again. Or they just go, huh, wonder if anyone's seen that, you know?
Even like bigger parts too. It like Peter Ostrom, the actor who played Charlie in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. That was the only film he ever did. He became a veterinarian after that.
I'm trying to think. Didn't I think the little girl actress in Madeline, like the '90s movie Madeline, also like
Oh, okay.
stopped acting like immediately after that. So I like that
Mm.
Madeline, but I grew up with it.
I never seen that one.
She did a pretty good job.
I feel like we watched that several times as kids. Like, I think my brothers kept borrowing it from the library.
Hmm.
Anyway, I guess we're getting off on a tangent here. I wonder if she ever thinks about this. Is all.
If you're listening to this, let us know.
I forgot your name. I think it started with a J.
Her name was Sandy Waldman.
Sandy. I don't know where I got the J from. Sandy, if you're listening to this and you remember what this was like, or the old man you asked with, that'd be interesting to hear.
I'm sure if we reach out on social media, someone will get it to her.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to Wonderland Wednesday. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe and follow my co-hosts as well. Jenna and Mark will be back next time, but in the meantime, be sure to follow them using their links in the description. If you want more of my content, all my podcasts are available on YouTube as well as most podcast platforms. If you enjoyed this show, check out one of the other podcasts or check out my Patreon for bonus and extended episodes you won't find anywhere else. We'll be back soon with another brand new episode, so thanks for listening and we'll see you next time.